Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor of Retail Insider. Joining me today is Craig Patterson, publisher of Retail Insider, and Dustin Fuhs, who is Editor-in-Chief of Retail Insider.
And we're here today to congratulate both of these gentlemen because they've both been honored with some awards from Rethink Retail. It's a panel which came together to give some awards to the top retail experts in the country, and both Dustin and Mario won for the category of media with Retail Insider. And I believe we're the only publication in Canada that got an award through Rethink Retail. So congratulations, guys, and welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very uh cool to see that the email come through and see all the names that are on that list. But yeah, it looks like over 800 nominations across all these different spectrums, and it was incredibly exciting. I know that last year and the year before, Craig, you were on it, so to have Retail Insider go from years and years and years of being on this list and now having two slots on there, everyone from CNBC to BBC, New York Times, everyone else is in this list, and now we've got Mario and myself, and it's just an absolute blast.
And
You
Mario,
know,
you were a little bit shocked, Mario, I think, when you found out. I mean, it shouldn't be a
I
shock. You're
was.
amazing at what you do, but tell us about that.
Well, thank you. I was shocked well, anytime you get something like this, it is shocking, especially if it's on a global scale. But the thing is I look at it, I just think it's such a testament of the work that we do, like all of us, in making the retail sector such a prominent one out there in the news sector, right? And because we've talked about this in the past. We talk about this internally, how the main quote unquote mainstream media has declined over the years, and so the coverage of stories in those newspapers or on broadcast channels has diminished over time. And it's places like us, publications like us, that have created a niche to kind of fill the void. And I get that. It's funny for me. For people who don't know, longtime journalist, 35 years at the Calgary Herald before I was punted 8 years ago, coming up to 8 years actually. But you know what stuns me all the time is when I talk to a CEO or president of a major retail company, and who always say to me, "Oh, I read your stories every day," or "I read Retail Insider every day," and that to me, I still amazed when I hear that.
Yeah, it's a testament to the fact that we go out of our way to find unique stories, and we're not reporting on the same brands each and every single day. A lot of times it just takes a little bit of extra work, and I think part of the rethink retail, being a top retail expert, showcases that we're able to go past the traditional sense of getting a press release and then just acting on that. Most of the news that goes out on Retail Insider is actually us going out and finding those stories and talking to people and seeing where things are at. But I think what makes Retail Insider unique are the stories that we don't share, because we have a lot of amazing conversations from brokers to leasing to properties to brands, and they all want to talk to us. And it's all about knowing when to share those stories.
And that's it's an interesting point you're bringing up there, Dustin, because one of the things that we don't realize is how many different you've got, okay, the core retail, you got a store, and you've got, and then it's omni-channel presence and all that. But then we don't realize like everything else that's connected to that industry, right? Or to that store. The companies that designed and build out retail stores, the companies that do signage for retail stores, et cetera, right? So, you take that one entity, that one store, and it's the filter out effect and the domino effect is massive.
Yeah, and one of the things that Craig originally, when I came on to Retail Insider 3 years ago, we were talking about what Retail Insider is, and the fact that it has this amazing history covering news, starting as a a gossip blog, as Craig once put it, talking about all these amazing department stores. And now when someone goes into Retail Insider, there's so much more of a historical side. And we also look at the stories behind the stories. And that comes to one of the things that we're going to be chatting about, Mario. And you've got a new series coming up that we're going to be putting over on Retail Insider. And it's looking behind the individuals.
The anatomy of a leader is the term. Mario, you've started this already. I think you're corralling some retail leaders out there who are willing to speak a little bit about what's happening in the Canadian retail industry, what they're been up to, how they got into it and whatnot. There's fascinating stories behind that as well. And we should now, Mario, you've been with us since I think 2017. Am I getting that right? That was about a year after the Calgary Herald. Yeah, no, I mean, time really flies. I can't believe it. It's been a good number of years. I mentioned you first because you came on before Dustin. Dustin, you're a bit over 3 years in, I think. Was it October, November?
Yeah, October when we made the big switch from one platform to the other. And I think I was able to get a little bit of a head start because I was able to go into every single article that we had ever done on Retail Insider and touch every single one because we were going to lose all of our images because of an internal the transition of one website to another. And I was able to gain all of that expertise over 11 years of figuring out what it is that the voice of the Retail Insider was. And so it kind of worked out.
I think that's what's exciting, right? Is the how we adapt and change to things and initiate different things, whether it's an interview series or video podcast, that type of stuff. And I'm looking so forward to this anatomy of a leader. I just think it's a great concept, to get more personal with people. We talk about and interview these CEOs and presidents of these major retail companies all the time, but we don't know much about them. Right. And how did they get there? Like, what's their philosophy? What do they want to be? They always want to be the CEO of a Holt Renfrew or whatever, right? So that's what we're going to start sharing. Hopefully next week we'll start sharing some of these stories out there about the leaders in a sector that is one of the key sectors of the economy.
Yeah, and we're one of the nice things about the next step, especially the next year, knowing that Mario and myself are on this list, and obviously Craig is still doing keynote speaking and from different organizations, ICSC and such. We're going to be able to really have some fun with Retail Insider. So with the top retail expert backing of what we do over here, we're going to be able to open up those doors and really have some fun. And it's we were known within the industry beforehand. Now it's just that next step.
And I'm really grateful, honestly, that you guys won these awards. I mean, I'm the founder and the owner of Retail Insider, and now we've got two employees who are doing amazing work who've both won awards. And again, like I said, this is the only publication in Canada that was even on the list, period. So amazing work, you guys. I mean, this is just absolutely phenomenal. I think Retail Insider has done well. It's Canada's national news publication at this point. We've also got a separate magazine, Retail Insider, the magazine, which we developed during the pandemic, which is seeing success. We've got another issue coming out quite soon. I've got a podcast, Larry, Mario, you've got a video series. I mean, we've got all kinds of different, I guess say reporting assets or just content that we're developing here at Retail Insider, which I think is quite compelling for those who are interested in the retail industry.
So, Craig, let me throw my my journalist's hat on and turn the tables and ask you a question. From as you look at back in time, where Retail Insider is now compared to when you started. You ever in your wildest dreams think you'd be here today?
No, I honestly had no vision for Retail Insider early on. I didn't know what it would be. I started it in 2011 as a hobby, and it it wasn't meant to be really anything more than that. I kind of got a feeling that there could be something to it. So when it started getting some attention, I knew there was a little bit more. And then when it started getting a lot of attention, I got hired by the University of Alberta at that point. That would have been in around 2014, so 2 years in, I would say, or perhaps not even 2 years in terms of operating Retail Insider. I knew it was something which could become career worthy, but even now, I'm surprised at where it is, and I mean, and we've discussed things around a vision of where things are going, but we still don't know exactly where things could go because there's always new opportunities that come up. The world is our oyster, I think, at this point in terms of what we could be doing next. Could be anything from in-person events to further editorial expansions, starting a new publication. By the way, we're not doing this anytime in the immediate future, but there's all kinds of opportunities out there, I think, with Retail Insider, and it's a matter of taking those. So the way that I've looked at this business is certainly goal setting, but at the same time also looking at opportunities which could come up, because sometimes you have to say yes to things to either be able to experience them or have them grow with them, whatever might present itself, which could be beneficial.
And the
Yeah.
interesting part of all this too, and I found for myself is because of my connection here, I've been asked a number of times by different media outlets to talk about stories. So whether it's been on TV or on radio, and I know you too, Craig, I often hear you on, I'm driving my car and then I'm picking up a news report on radio, and Craig Patterson, the Retail Insider, what? So that's kind of neat too.
It's a team effort.
One of the nice things with going forward with the Rethink Retail and getting into this world of experts is it's surprising how many of them are actually contributors to Retail Insider. And that was one of the nice things when I was scrolling through the list and seeing familiar faces from, and I'm not going to list them all because I know I will get in trouble if I forget one or two. But I definitely, when we were going through, it was a very nice reminder of how integral Retail Insider and the community of experts and commentary that we provide. We are international by the way of the folks who we have in our conversations. And it's an incredible testament to the fact that this is where we are, and we're going to be able to grow even further being a part of this organization and being on a list of the top retail experts. It's just exciting.
It is.
Cool. So look forward to more and more and more on Retail Insider, and we're definitely excited to be part of this this organization. And obviously, there's going to be more stories, and more editorial, more commentary. The retail industry does not stop. I wish it does, but it doesn't.
Oh, this is terrific. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I want to say thank you for coming on to the segment, as well as say congratulations on winning this award, the Rethink Retail Top Retail Experts in the Media category.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor of Retail Insider, with guests Craig Patterson, publisher of Retail Insider, and Dustin Fuhs, who is Editor-in-Chief of Retail Insider.